Hello everyone. In this session we are going to learn design goals of a transport layer protocol for ad hoc wireless networks. There are various design goals for a transport layer protocol which is suitable for ad hoc wireless networks. We are going to see about them. Transport layer protocol main objectives are to watch about end-to-end connection, end-to-end packet delivery, congestion control and flow control. These are its main objectives. Today we are going to see the design goals of a transport layer protocol for ad hoc wireless networks. So let's start. The protocol should maximize the throughput per connection. It should maximize the throughput. As you all know, throughput, the propagation time, the delivery, it all combines to give you the throughput. It should maximize the throughput per connection. It should provide throughput fairness across contending flows. Means as I have told you, flow control. Whether there is contention near some flows, it should control the throughput there too. It should be fairly divided. It should be fair enough to allow all flows. The throughput must be overall same. It must be same, whether it may be a contending flow or any other flow, it must be the same. It shouldn't be unfair. As we have told you, issues in designing a transport layer protocol for ad hoc wireless networks, there we have this throughput unfairness. It should be throughput fair. So it should provide throughput fairness across contending flows. The protocol should incur minimum connection setup and connection maintenance overheads. Means it should have minimum connection setup. Means only less number of connections are required to connect more number of nodes. And connection maintenance overhead. We don't want any extra problems while connecting, right? So that means connection maintenance overheads. We need minimum connections, minimum number of connections to connect. It should minimize the resource requirements for setting up and maintaining the connection in order to make the protocol scalable in large networks. In large networks, we may have few thousands of nodes more, right? So the connections must be very less and the connection maintenance overheads must also be minimized, and the setting up and the maintenance of these connections must also be minimum. It shouldn't be a hurdle. The resource requirements, in the sense we need to control the resources which are available for us for connecting these nodes, as the nodes may be large. The transport layer protocol should have mechanisms for congestion control and flow control in the network. As I have already told you, the main objective of transport layer is to control the congestion and flow control. So the transport layer must have these mechanisms in order to control congestion and flow control in the network. It should be able to provide both the reliable and unreliable connections as per the requirements of the application layer. Means, as I have already told you, there are many number of protocols used in transport layer, but these UDP and TCP protocols are very familiar. If you consider UDP, which is unreliable, which is used for wireless networks, so wireless unreliable connections can be done by UDP. Reliable connections can be done by TCP. So depending on the requirement of the application layer, this protocol must be adaptive. The protocol should be able to adapt to the dynamics of the network, such as the rapid change in the topology and changes in the nature of the wireless links from unidirectional to bidirectional link or vice versa. See, dynamics of the network means, as we all know, ad hoc wireless networks are highly dynamic networks. They change very rapidly. So this protocol must adapt to those changes. If the number of nodes are more, the dynamic change will be very rapid, and the topology, network topology also changes very rapidly. And these changes may also lead to wire breaks, link breaks, etc. And there are changes in links also, wireless links also. They may be unidirectional to bidirectional. As you all know, unidirectional means one-way flow, bidirectional means two-way flow. A unidirectional link may change to bidirectional link, or vice versa may happen, but the protocol must adapt to these changes. The protocol should be aware of resource constraints such as battery power and buffer sizes, and make efficient use of them. The battery power is the most important resource for the nodes, right? So it must be used efficiently, and the protocol must not use it overly. And the buffer sizes, as the memory sizes are very limited for nodes, this must also be used very efficiently, because sending a large number of packets may occupy these buffer sizes. The protocol should maintain end-to-end semantics, means it should know on which end what node is there, how are they connected, what are the connections, what is source, what is node, what are the intermediate links. It should know. The protocol should maintain these connections, end-to-end semantics. One of the most important resources, the available bandwidth, must be used efficiently. Yeah, this is the most important one. Bandwidth, you just can't increase it or decrease it. It is as stable as you. You see, you need to employ mechanisms. The protocol need to employ mechanisms such as frequency reuse, etc., in order to use this bandwidth efficiently. The transport layer protocol should make use of information from the lower layers in the protocol stack for improving the network throughput. It should maintain a good rapport with its fellow layers. Transport layer is followed by MAC layer and network layer, right? It should not decouple from their layers, from these layers. It should be in couple with these layers. The information must exchange between these layers so that it may improve the network layer's throughput. In order to improve the throughput, you need to exchange the information between these two layers. The protocol must maintain this. It should have a well-defined cross-layer interaction framework for effective, scalable, and protocol-independent interaction with lower layers. As I have told you, it should have a well-defined cross-layer interaction. Means it should interact with the more number of layers. Framework for efficient, effective, scalable, and protocol-independent interaction with lower layers also. Independent of the protocol, it should interact with its lower layers. Thank you so much. If you find this video worthy, please subscribe to my channel.